Father just leaves disabled son at the gate. So, my son goes to a special needs school. Last week they started a school summer holiday club running over 2 weeks. My son went last week and there were some spaces left for this week and he was lucky enough to get another spot. Yesterday a boy turned up and me and the other parents didn't realize anything was off until the organizer asked why he was there and she had told him that there wasn't a space for him on Friday. She asked where his dad was and he said he left. This man dropped his son off and just drove off. The school had no choice but to take him. I couldn't help myself but say to my friend, "Who does that?" So I turned up this morning and guess what? He showed up again and went to drive off again. Luckily the son had left his bag in the car so one of the other workers flagged the father down. I have no idea what the organizer said to him or whether they sent the boy home. I guess I will find out this afternoon when I pick my son. But, what the hell, these are seriously vulnerable children. I wouldn't even just leave a child with no special needs without making sure they go into the building. For context, these children are under 16 so yeah, just wanted to vent. Entitled mom yells at my kid for talking like a commie characters. M entitled mom. GT good twin. ET entitled twin. Me 24 female with 3 kids and no patience for stupid people. Sasha my son, age 5, called Alex by the M. Dima other son, age 3, also kind of involved. TLDR at bottom. A bit of background, I'm a first-generation Russian American. I've always lived in America and I speak English as my primary language. My husband on the other hand, only relocated from Moscow about 6 years ago and speaks enough English to get by in most situations. We decided to raise our kids primarily speaking Russian, both so they can take part in cultural/religious celebrations and so they can talk to family back home. Bilingualism is also a great skill to have as an adult, so it felt like the right choice to make. They speak English too obviously. Now, for the conflict. My boys have always been involved in activities. As stereotypical as it is, they're both enrolled in dance classes. They enjoy doing it so I don't feel bad, but the glares from other moms when I'm bringing them to lessons every Thursday night aren't great. A few weeks ago, their class had a little recital for all the parents. All the kids did really well, nobody fell over, and everyone had their costumes on right. The next day, there was a little picnic in a local park for all the kids to celebrate how well they did. The dads were making the food while the moms watched their kids. I was doing the same thing, sitting on a bench near the playground, holding my baby and making sure my kids don't cause problems. They're running along the little suspension bridge linking 2 structures, laughing and yelling to each other. I thought nothing of it. They were having fun. I was listening, but only to make sure they didn't say anything rude. Apparently, I'm not the only one who heard them. A set of twins is playing under the structure, which wouldn't be a problem generally, but these kids make me believe in the evil twin theory. One is a little doll and the other would probably light your car on fire because you won't let them use your phone. Their mom is M. ET goes up to her and points to my son. I had no idea what he was saying. I figured probably just complaining about the gravel falling on them from the bridge. The kid walks away, and I look down at my baby to adjust her little hat, when the woman goes up to the little bridge. If she was just going to tell them to be more careful because there's people under there that didn't want rocks falling on them, that would have been fine. Instead, I hear her calling trying to talk to him, but like with most 5-year-olds, he had far more interest in going back to play instead of talking to a stranger. M keeps trying to get his attention, and when that doesn't work, she just yells, "We're in America. We won. Stop talking like a commie." Hearing that shocked me out of whatever I was thinking about, and like any normal person I went over there trying to use all my self-control to not slap her. Honestly, all the kids there is probably the only thing that stopped me. I was just going to collect my kids and go home, maybe get the tray of cupcakes I brought. But no, anything with M could never be that simple. As I'm walking away, she offhandedly says, "Teach your brat some manners, Red. He needs to learn some respect." ET doesn't deserve to have to hear that. All the other kids were just being nice. Meanwhile, GT is just sitting there terrified and not sure what to do. I knew if I stayed I was going to say or do something I would regret, and that possibly might put me in weekend jail. I spit a few insults at her and threw my kids in the car, holding onto the steering wheel so tight my fingers went white. My husband says people like her are just part of life. He's far more mature than I am and I'm considering reciting parts of old literature next time I see her if I didn't think it would get the windows in my car broken out. Yes, I'm that petty. TLDR, entitled mom from the dance studio literally yells at my 5-year-old for speaking Russian to his younger brother while playing at a picnic. says it makes her kid and others uncomfortable. M thinks that because they birthed my niece they can take the majority of her money. My sister, 38, has 3 kids. Her eldest, 18 female, moved out a few months ago and got her own place. The other 2 kids still live with my sister and her partner. My niece has been trying her best since she moved out. She had a partner and a job lined up, but everything went to crap. Her partner broke up with her and she had a breakdown, and now she's not got that job and is on the sick because her depression took over. My niece has to use my sister's bank account to get her benefits paid into because she doesn't have the appropriate identification to open her own bank account, even though she gave my sister the money to buy her provisional license about 2 years ago, but my sister never sent off for it and spent the money on other things and never paid my niece back. Since my niece started getting her money paid into my sister's account, money has been going missing. My niece only gets a couple £100 each month to live on and is already struggling. We try and help her as much as we can, but there's only so much we can do. But the other week £50 went missing out of my niece's money, and my sister, when confronted, insisted that it was because my niece spent it. Her exact words were, "It's quids you've spent here and there, it adds up." We all know that's not the case and that my sister stole it, but we can't prove it. Another one was when £120 went from my niece's rent money and my sister hasn't paid my niece that back. It's getting to a point where I'm considering seeking legal advice because this cannot continue. Yesterday my niece got a phone call off my sister, and my sister was demanding that my niece owed her hundreds of pounds and that she wants it back ASAP in the form of 100 or more pounds each time my niece gets paid. To top all this off, my sister and her partner have well-paid jobs and easily get over $2,000 a month, and yet they are taking as much as they can off my niece. It's unfair. I don't know what to do. I've told my niece to get her identification when she gets paid and as soon as it comes to open up her own bank. I've even offered my second bank account for her to use in the meantime. I hope she uses it because my sister can't keep getting away with it. I know this isn't the most interesting thing on here, but I needed to vent, and my sister is an entitled parent. Edit 1. There is more stuff that's been happening with her, but it's too much to try and write on here. When I get a minute I will try and add more of the shit she's been doing to my niece. An entitled parent called the police on me for a training knife. Me equals me, NK equals nice kitty, P equals entitled parent, PO equals police officer. So I've started to get into balisongs, butterfly knives, like a couple months ago. I love it very much, and L have a couple of knives. I'd love to do it in public too, but when I'm around people I'll always use my Crake Rockin' V 2.5, basically a trainer knife, so it doesn't have an edge. Today L was walking with my friends, and L was playing with my trainer knife as usual, when a kid runs up to me, NK hi. What's that? Can L try it? The kid. He was around 9 or 10. Me sure, but do you got any of your parents here? Because L don't want to get in trouble. Me NK yeah, my mom's here. And he runs to his mother and comes back a couple of minutes later. NK mom, it's him, he has that thing. The kid was really exited at this point. Can you show us some trick please? Me sure. So L started to do a couple of easier tricks like a thumb around. EP. Hey, put that knife away. You're gonna hurt us. Me, no, LM can't do that, even if L wanted to. This is a training knife, so it is fully dull and doesn't have an edge. And L grabbed a blade. EP, but put that away or LM gonna call the police. Me, if you want to. You're gonna be only one who is in problem. So we wait there until the police arrived. PO, so, what seems to be the problem here? EP, this young man has a knife and threatened to hurt us. NK, no, he didn't say anything wrong. The PO turns to me. PO, is that true? You've got a knife? Me, yeah officer, I've got one in my pocket. It's a butterfly knife, but it's a trainer so it doesn't have an edge. PO, can you show it to me slowly? Me, sure, and L reached in my pocket and handed to the officer by the blade. So he sees, it doesn't have an edge. PO, okay, L see no problem here. Thank you sir. And he started to hand me my knife, but the EP snapped it out of the officer's hand and decided, to slap the officer. PO, ma'am, put that knife down and put your hands behind your back. Now? EP, but LN just what you can't do, so she throwed my knife full force to the ground. And the rest of the story was that the mother got arrested for lying to an officer, harming an officer, and damaging someone's property. Me and my friends stayed with the kid until his dad arrived. I know it's not the best story, but yeah, this happened, and sorry if L wrote anything wrong.